The Queens of Spice podcast is created for adult audiences only. Our show contains cursing, vulgar content, dark humor, descriptions of sexual acts and desires, and is not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Some episodes also contain themes which may be triggering for listeners. Please take care of yourself. Welcome to Queens of Spice. Thanks for joining me, friends. I'm Rachel, also known as Rarg or Rargy or Rargachu. Also, I just hit level 42 in Pokemon Go today.
Woohoo!
So, you know, that's actually a huge feat. It takes a lot to get there. And I'm also joined by my BFF, Ash, my spice peddler, and Jack, who's...
Smedler, for those who are wondering.
Sorry. Ash, the Smedler. My Smedler.
Fairy God Smut.
She's a certified smeller for several people. Specifically me today in particular because she referenced this book. I'm also joined by Little Bird Jack. Thanks for coming. I appreciate
I got demoted from BFF this week, I guess.
You were no longer my BFF. You were only Little Bird.
Oh.
You're only Little Bird's my BFF right now. So we're talking about Den of Vipers today, which is yeah, that about sums it up. So Den of Vipers comes highly recommended on Book Talk, Smut Talk, Spice Talk, as it were.
TikTok for the books.
TikTok, the clock app.
Clit Talk.
Clit Talk. That's a whole different app. And also recommended by Ashton. So blame her.
I do.
Loosely recommended because it's, well, if you've read it, you know.
If you've read it, you know. If you have never read it, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. So be prepared.
Spoilers.
So many spoilers. We're going to just spoil every single bit of this book.
Sorry, River Song.
Also, if Rachel's mom is listening, please stop.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Keep going.
Oh, no. Please
You'll
don't.
learn some stuff.
Oh.
You might have taught them. I'm not sure.
No, please don't. Mom, turn it off. I love you.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Jack, your parents are still not with us. If they are with us, though, please rate and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Also, if they want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, we're at Queens of Spice.
Yeah, we are.
Are you talking about Jacqueline's parents?
I mean, anyone.
Okay, I was going to say Jacqueline's
Yeah,
parents.
I mean,
are
I'm pretty
deceased.
sure ghost Twitter is a thing. Why wouldn't it be?
I mean, they get horny too.
Yes.
My parents are dead. I don't think they get horny anymore.
Ghosts definitely get horny.
I mean, if I was a ghost, I'd be horny. Hey, let's talk about Den of Vipers real quick.
I thought we were going to do a shot first.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we're shooting sheepdog peanut butter liqueur. It's a peanut butter and whiskey flavored liqueur. Give it a try.
Have you tried it already?
I haven't. Jack shot it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To this monstrosity.
Bitches.
Down the hatch.
Woo.
What did I just put in my mouth?
Little bird.
Oh.
I mean,
buddy.
I mean, I could see where they said that tastes like peanut butter cups.
Definitely doesn't.
Oh, that burns on the way down.
That's strong.
Sorry, Sheepdog, not a sponsor. If you'd like to be, please email us at queensofspice@gmail.com. Jack, we're talking about
Den of Vipers.
Den of Vipers. It's written in 2020. Sorry, it's published in 2020 by K.A. Knight, who's a British author. She's an indie author, does a lot of her own publications.
Which I hear is like the way to go
That's
nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people talk about like publishing with big publishing houses, and it's like unless you have a really big following already, apparently that's not necessarily the way to go. And especially now with the internet being easier to kind of advertise on, easier to get your like book recommended by people like us. If you ever want us to cover your book, please email us at queensofspice@gmail.com.
Is that because they, like stomp on your stuff and try to make it more mainstream friendly?
Not necessarily. I would say it probably has more to do with they have certain publications they have to like certain distributions they have to meet, and so sometimes those distributions aren't necessarily where your audience is hiding,
and they make more. If you self-publish, there is more money in your pocket than if you have to pay for a publisher and all that.
Yeah, because
other
right
stuff.
off the top, it's like you have to give something like 10 or 15% to your publisher right off the top without any, like, so you don't actually make that money. And then there's like you have to pay them for advertising fees and just like to use your distribution networks and stuff. So if you can, then you self-publish generally.
I mean,
But
you do you.
Please get an editor because, come on now.
Please have somebody else read your stuff.
So
If you want me to do it, I will. I'll look for those grammar mistakes.
Jack is currently looking for a job. Your editor could be it.
Den of Vipers is about a gal named Roxanne.
Roxy.
Not too far off.
Not too far off. So her father owes a debt to the Vipers, who are like one of the mob families in this city, along with the Triad and the Russians.
Yeah, but they have a good relationship with the
They
Russians.
have a good relationship with the Russians. But the Triad, however, are giving them a problem. Spoilers.
Still bad guys.
It's bad guys. So Roxy's dad ends up like basically selling her to the Vipers to cover his debt, his gambling debt.
Even though she's a grown-ass woman.
All right, we're not talking semantics on this book. None of it makes sense.
However... I mean, there's some things that I'm like, it takes me out of it a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. The book was entertaining.
Here's the thing I'll say this about this book right off the bat, is that this is a spicy book, not a book with spice.
Oh, hands down.
So if you,
this was 100% written to get people off.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you come to this hoping for a literary adventure, don't read it.
I mean, there was a literary adventure. It was just smushed very...
literary or a clitorary adventure?
That is, yeah, that's probably
It's
more...
a literary adventure.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
I would say
It's cliterature, for sure.
if you took all of the spicy bits out of this book, it might be like 150 or 200 pages long.
That's
but
fair.
as opposed to like 600 plus pages it is now.
But that's also... I mean, that's saying that spice can't be plot. Because, I mean, you talk about, like, porn with plot and plot.
With porn.
With porn, I guess.
But I would say in this book in particular, there's a big division between like the plot and
Oh, hands down, there's
and,
definitely
like-
stuff written in just for the sake of writing it.
Yeah, and
Which is not bad.
oh, believe me, I've read this book twice already.
Yes.
Once for my own personal enjoyment, and then the second one for this podcast. And you know,
Which
so,
is not enjoyable.
not to say that wasn't personally enjoyable, but it was work. So you know, I've dedicated like 15 plus hours of my life to this book already.
I liked when you first read it and then were reacting to me about reading it. That made my life. It brings me joy to recommend books to Rachel and then to have Rachel react.
And react, I did.
Yes.
And I will say, like, because I went through like Goodreads, for example, and looked at some of the reviews on this book.
And Amazon, I think.
I didn't go through Amazon. I definitely went through Goodreads, just because
Okay.
Goodreads is a little more, you know, you're talking to like actual humans for the most part. Not that Amazon you're not, but you're getting a bigger sample, I would say, as opposed to Goodreads. You're
Of
getting
literary humans.
yeah, a Goodreads you're getting a very kind of specific audience there. And a lot of people, it was very divisive. There's a lot of people who DNF'd this at like 10 and 15%. And there was a lot
That
of
means did not finish.
Did not flick.
Did not flick their bean.
I mean, 10% in, there's not, there's some. There's a little spice.
They should have waited longer, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I mean, hold out for it if you're in. If that's what you're here for. If you're here for a good time, then
Not a long time.
Well, you're here for a long time too. It's a pretty long book.
It's like one of those like one night stand books.
Oh, this is 100% a one night stand book.
Yeah.
If you manage to get through it all, I mean, you know what you're getting into. I'm telling you what you're getting into right now. It's not a fabulous, engaging book. It is spicy as all get out though, and this spicy should be good.
It should be good. It's engaging. It's engaging. It's like that kind of spice that like leaves your asshole feeling like, yeah, you definitely ate something spicy.
Oh yeah, there is some spice going on. I'm gonna
Spice.
It was spicy.
This was not a paprika style book. This was like jalapenos rubbed on your anus kind of book. Like it's just
a little heavier than jalapenos, I would say. But yes, that is that was an excellent analogy.
I've never rubbed jalapenos on my anus.
Well,
so...
here. Would you like to read Den of Vipers? So
this will make you feel like it.
So you know, so Roxy's dad sold her to the Vipers. She ends up being captive
After beating the shit out of the first round of guys that come after.
So they send minions to go pick her up, and she like wipes the floor with them because she's a badass motherfucker, obviously.
Not the little yellow guys, but like actual dudes.
Yes, Ashton, real humans,
Not the
like,
ones with the little
cruise
overalls.
minions.
not those kind of
They're
minions.
so cute,
Could
though.
you imagine? That would make this book a million times more
I
entertaining.
think
Might
I
take
would
me out a
read
little
it.
bit.
I think I would read it.
I'm pretty sure you would read it even if. Anyway,
Could you imagine them just going banana?
are you okay?
Banana. Banana. Wait, is Den of Vipers the book that made us decide that we should have a podcast?
I think it might have been. It was early. It was early
It was
on.
definitely one of the ones we talked about early on. This is one of the ones that we got you to read out of from the beginning because we were laughing about it so much.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Because I was about halfway through it. We brought over to Jack's, and
Yeah.
Ashton's like, you need to read this. It's hilarious.
Ashton, I think, was listening to it.
Yeah, I did the
Oh,
audiobook.
you had the audiobook.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Which is-
how was that?
Entertaining because, I mean, who doesn't like listening to their smut?
So yeah, so this is British. So were they all British narrators?
I don't know if the people who narrated were actually British, but there was definitely British accents. And so you mentioned Roxy, so Roxy definitely had a British accent. And then
We should mention too. This is written so like they Kay Knight writes it as first person.
Yep.
And then they switch around the different characters to have their perspective.
yeah, it's a perspective shift, which is pretty common, I think, in most romance novels where they do have
For
like,
sure,
a perspective shift. This one's fun though because it goes from Roxy to Ryder to Kenzo to Garrett and then Diesel, who is Rachel's favorite.
Swoon.
Which is super fun. Like I said, I read it or I listened to it, and each of the guys, their voices are slightly different, so you kind of understand before they don't have to tell you that this is Kenzo's chapter, because you know it's Kenzo's chapter because Kenzo sounds different than Garrett, and Garrett has this like deeper kind of. I liked Garrett's voice, but I really like Ryder's voice. But then Dee's voice was fun too, so it was like a fun bag of dicks.
So on that topic, this is what we used to call reverse harem. We don't call it reverse harem anymore. We call it a wide shoes, or I like to call it dick for days,
Or like multi-partner.
or multi-partner. It's like poly, any of that stuff. It's also like a bit of enemies to lovers, I'll say, because she was not friends with these guys when they started.
Well, yeah, definitely. And what's super fun about that is how much she fights. And I mean,
my god, and she fights, does she ever? And that's what makes Diesel like her a lot.
yeah, Little Bird.
Yeah.
It's Little Bird. And I mean, one of my favorite tropes is
Little bird.
if you sexy run, I'll sexy chase you. And like, listen, you get a girl running, a guy running after her, I'll probably read
Oh
it.
god, there's an entire chapter where she plays like hide and seek with Diesel.
Yes.
Like
Fuck.
actually hide and seek.
Yeah, like
super
he comes
PG,
oh.
not really difficult. It's just like they're just
And it gets not PG.
Like someone's counting and everything.
No, like he walks in and all the lights are off and everything's like there's nobody home and there's a note that says, "Hey, come find me."
It's like those fun videos you see where the guy's like, or the guy or a girl is like the Nerf gun and the note, and then the partner goes like hiding somewhere. Only in the end, someone gets fucked.
Somebody gets real fucked in
I
this
mean,
case.
I think someone always does. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
mean,
That's my
fair.
hope for them in those videos.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I
they
would
don't really
believe that.
record that, do they?
No, they go for the wholesome bits only. We're here for the spicy stuff.
They record it. They just don't show us.
So
That's personal.
And so to that point, at the end of this hunt, for example, there is what Diesel likes to do, which is tie her down. He's totally into the BDSM shit. He's also into pain and like kind of torture and that kind of stuff.
Well, his character is admittedly
His character is a torturer.
Yeah, he's the. Well, I mean, each of the guys has their own job.
Yeah, and I mean,
you know.
so we should backtrack a second. The Vipers themselves, which are Ryder, Kenzo, Garrett, and Diesel, they all have So Ryder's like the boss man.
Yeah, he is.
Kenzo, which is his biological brother,
Yeah, he
runs
is.
runs the gambling and like the loan sharks, that kind of stuff. Garrett is the enforcer.
he is.
He's also a boxer, and he does
Retired boxer.
Retired boxer. He does illegal fighting.
And
Oh, and he's a tattoo
and
artist.
he's a tattoo artist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is.
And there's
I
a-
don't like the name Garrett though.
Why don't you like the name Garrett?
I don't know. I don't think I would let him fuck me though.
Oh, you would. This
Yeah,
guy
you would.
This Garrett, you would.
Well, and the sad, like Garrett has some like tragedy there.
Yeah, so that's a big story plot point.
It's not
Spoilers.
a great moaning name.
I think you can make it work.
I could make it
She
work.
calls him Gare, like
or big man.
or big. Oh man,
Big guy.
Big
She calls him.
man.
She calls him big,
Big
guy.
Big guy.
Yeah,
He
because
likes-
he
he
is
like-
apparently.
Okay, that's a little weird.
He likes to tire. Like he likes to hold her. He is
Well,
this whole thing.
he's like 6'5" or 6. He's real tall.
I don't care. Yeah.
He's covered head to toe in tattoos. His father was a tattoo artist. I think they mentioned in the book.
Maybe you would be the one to listen to on that one.
That would be me.
I was more concerned with like Yeah, he does that. And that makes Ashton happy.
So there's a lovely scene, speaking of Garrett,
Oh, we're not talking about that one yet.
and Diesel.
Is
Diesel as well is in this scene.
Are we getting her to read that, though?
No, we're
Okay.
gonna get her to read the other the knife scene.
Oh gosh.
So there's a lovely scene in this book, where Garrett is finishing up a tattoo for Roxy, and
Roxy likes it.
Roxy is like into getting tattoos, like in a bad way, a good way.
Is it a bad way, though?
I mean, she's got it bad, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, I guess it's bad in that she can't sit still long enough for Garrett to actually finish the tattoo.
I mean,
so.
here's the thing. She is sitting still. She's doing fine. But then she gets antagonized by Diesel because Diesel fucking
Shocking.
knows. Because she told him at one point that she was like a super, it like super gets her off to get tattoos.
And I super love that Roxy's relationship with Diesel in this because Diesel's the most
He is fudged
unhinged.
up. 100%.
Unhinged.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
be the best way. But she, like, gets him in a way that most people don't, aside from his quote-unquote brothers. And
he like worships that gal.
Yeah.
And it's hot as fuck.
I mean, yeah, until knife handles get inserted into orifices. And
Oh my God, spoilers.
Oh no.
Jack, have you ever had a knife in your butt?
No, I have not, but I'm gonna take a shot right now. Thank you.
just the thought of that makes me need to have a shot.
I mean, it's not like the knife, it's like the handle knife.
yeah,
So-
but like, anyway.
We'll talk about that
We'll talk
later.
about that one
Yeah.
later.
Either way, no, I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay.
Has your partner?
Have you ever put a knife in your butt, in your partner's butt?
No,
Okay.
Okay, good.
but I can't guarantee that he's never had a knife in his butt because we talk about most things, but not everything.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
butt stuff.
We
You
could
know butt
ask him.
He
Let's
doesn't talk about
cover it
butt
later.
stuff.
Maybe we'll ask him and I'll let you guys know next time.
On the next episode, we discuss
On the next-
Jack's
yeah.
partner's butt stuff.
So Diesel is he's the like torturer. He was like an assassin originally before they recruited him.
But he has like a tragic backstory where he was all
He's
like,
obsessed with this. He's got mommy issues.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
a mommy's
which
boy.
is refreshing because it's usually daddy issues that you read in these kinds of books, and you're like, hello, cliche.
Oh, yeah, he's like-
Mommy's boys
he's a
are
mommy's
not
boy.
refreshing.
This one is.
I mean, in that, like, he just wants to be loved.
He 100%. And then he's like, but he's so obsessed with Roxy in this, and it's like it's totally reciprocated.
Wash your own socks, Diesel. Jesus, fuck.
But I mean, to be fair, they all just want to be loved. Like, that's just
They
the big
do.
thing.
That's
they just
the-
want somebody to belong to them, and
Well,
like,
and that's one of the big points in this book is that like even and Ryder kind of calls it out too. He's like, I would never be in love with someone who didn't love my brothers, and so that's kind of like the overarching kind of creature is that like, hey, if you get one of us, you get all of us. Like,
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yes, ma'am.
So does she gets one of them, but she also gets all of them?
yeah. And sometimes she gets multiple of them at the same time.
And they're all okay with that?
100%.
There's no sword crossing, but
There's no certified sword crossing, unfortunately.
None certified.
Not certifiable. I can't speak what happens behind the scenes, but in the book, it's not
in
written.
the book itself, I don't feel like there would be though, because that whole like brother dynamic, I can't imagine they're like,
That's
yeah,
the-
sure,
Yeah,
let's-
but I mean, but they're still like very open, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna like rail you while my brother rails you at the same time."
Well, the first time she has sex with Kenzo, she's in the hallway, and the guys come in, and they're just like,
oh my
they
God,
clap.
Diesel! Well, no. The first time Diesel catches them in the hallway, and he's just
Yes!
like, "Oh, baby, you're
And
done
then-
for now."
Oh, he likes it.
He's 100%. He's like catches like Kenzo railing her from behind, and he's watching this go down.
I also love when he like randomly ends up in bed with her.
Oh my God, he like so he kind of he's I mean Diesel's creepy as shit. He like washes
In a
her
loving
sleep and
way.
stuff.
Aw,
Yeah.
so sweet.
Oh,
you don't want to be watched while you sleep.
Not really.
But then he like curls up with her and stuff, and it's kind of sweet and whatever. But
But is he washing his own socks?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
In all honesty,
I'm pretty sure they have a maid of some sort.
in all honesty, though, with the way these boys are whipped or wrapped around her finger, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure they're all doing her socks.
Nice.
100%.
100%.
Like they go out and spend a bunch of money on her and like buy her
Oh.
stuff and the jewelry.
Ryder,
and, like,
yeah, like Ryder's big thing is like
Ugh.
giving her things. I'm like, your love language is
is
delightful.
Yeah. Oh my
sir.
goodness, it's quite.
I ain't
it's quite
saying
nice.
she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no.
I will say
broke.
they actually they draw a lot on that because she is a very independent person, always
Yeah.
has been, because of her tragic backstory where her father was super abusive to her growing up. Her mother died. Sorry, her mother was killed when she was 14. And she was raised by what's his name? Rich. She was raised by Rich.
Oh yeah.
Who was like a father figure to her, and like she changed her last name to his name, and like he left her
'Cause
the
her
bar after he
dad's a
passed
piece
and
of
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, I mean her dad. Like the overarching thing of this whole book is her dad's a huge, massive piece of shit, and so does she have daddy issues? Yes. Are these guys daddy? Yes.
Nice.
100%.
I mean, yeah. Let's be real here.
yeah.
Like when Ryder has sex with her for the first time because he's all tragic. Oh no, when he fucks her mouth. Is that what he? Yeah. He with the shirt, he has her arms all tied up in the shirt, and he just rails her mouth because he has this whole thing about women and
No, you're talking about
not Ryder, Garrett.
You're
Yeah,
talking about
sorry.
Garrett.
I meant Garrett.
So Garrett has huge issues with women because of one of the really the driving story of this whole book.
Which, you know what? Okay, so we talk about how this book is more spice than it is plot, which is fair. It is, hands down. But I did really like, or appreciate, I should say, how that was like a little piece that was just kind of in there as a quirk to Garrett's, I say quirk, but like a major plot point to Garrett's personality. But it wasn't like, it didn't feel like, it felt like just like kind of a passing thing. And then all of a sudden shit like comes around and you're like, oh shit, this actually means something. Which I thought was kind of well done because it was out of left field to a point, but it also brought you back into, was like, okay, there is a story here, instead of it just being like, oh, they're boning again, oh, they murdered people, oh, they're having sex,
And it was they murder people.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh yes. So trigger warning. There's a lot of murder in this book. What I will say is that, like, as spicy and terrible and whatever as this book may be, there's a fucking love story here, and it's not like I don't hate it. It's super sweet. Diesel is actually a really sweet dude, and he looks after her all the time.
They all are.
Like Garrett's, like Kenzo is like a ladies' man, and he's the sweetest boy.
Kenzo's a cinnamon roll in this. Let's be
100%.
real. Total cinnamon roll. Yeah, he's just soft and squishy. And then like Garrett with his tragedy and all that stuff. But the way Garrett is super protective of her from the off, and like doesn't want to love her, but finds himself attached to her,
And she does admittedly like help them all work through the trauma. And that's like a big plot point of the book, is that she herself is very familiarized with what they're going through.
Everybody, and this is one of my favorite things. Like I will always say, like, one of my favorite things in these books is I want everybody to be loved, and I want everybody to feel love. And it's nice that even though they're not physically loving on each other, everybody gets love. Everybody feels that or has that opportunity to get the warm and fuzzies, as well as the, things shoved in their parts.
Various orifices.
Yeah,
That's what happens with the mafia. They just
I
get
mean-
love.
I thought you meant that's what happens with the mafia. Everybody gets fucked in the ass.
I mean, potato, tomato.
Two completely different vegetables. One arguably a fruit.
So arguably
Arguably a fruit.
Do you know what's a vegetable, but I thought was always a fruit?
A pumpkin?
Rhubarb.
Oh. A
Rhubarb's
pumpkin.
a vegetable.
yeah, I mean that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
knew
It grows
that.
from the ground.
I know, but it's like,
A pumpkin's a gourd.
but do you eat it like
You're
a
a
fruit?
gourd.
Sometimes.
You're gorgeous.
Oh, with my pigtail.
With your cute little pigtails, you're gorgeous. So one other thing I want to talk. I have a talking point on here about. So this is written by a British lady,
Oh no, I don't want to talk about this.
and so she uses a lot of British phrases in this book.
No.
Like what?
No, I don't want to talk about this.
One of them is knickers.
Does she use knickers?
She used knickers so much instead of panties, because she usually used panties in that kind of book. I mean, panties is a pretty obvious.
What?
Ever go to La Senza and they're like, do you want these panties wrapped up, and I can wrap up these panties for you? And is that all the panties you want to purchase today?
The sad thing is, this is not the first time I have heard this exact monologue from Jacqueline.
Well, seriously, this has been happening since whenever I started buying panties at La Senza.
It should be noted, Ashton hates the word, and so for the next, I don't know how long, it's going to be used a lot. Just, if
Do you know
don't,
what's even better than panties, Rachel?
No.
Moist panties. And that's
Oh.
what sometimes happens when we
Jack-
read these books,
Jack,
apparently.
sorry. I need to correct you on that. They actually, in this book, instead of using the word moist or wet, they use a lot of word cream.
Cream-filled Knickers.
Oh God.
Well, that sounds just delightful.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she's like wet / full of creamy, whatever. I like.
My knickers are all cream filled, Ashton. What should I
This
do
is
about
the last episode of Queens of Spice. We'd like to thank you. I'm probably gonna go vomit now or stab someone. Haven't decided yet.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Ash. I'm actually gonna get Jacqueline to read a passage out of the book right now.
What a segue.
Did you like that segue?
That's what you get for saying the P word a million fucking times.
Which P word is it? Panties?
I think she mentions panties. No, actually, sorry, she's not wearing panties. Or she's not wearing knickers at this point in the book. So this is in the middle of kind of the first time she and Diesel get a little. Calm down. This is the first time her and Diesel get intimate. And so he's downstairs in his little basement, which of course they have a basement for torturing. And he's like torturing this dude, and then he kills the dude, whatever, as he does. And then he, puts her up on a chain or whatever and has his way with her. And so this is kind of in the middle of that.
Okay.
All super normal things that people do on a
These are
general day-to-day
This
basis.
sounds great. I'm
Give you some ideas for you and your partner who may or may not have a knife in his butt.
We're not sure. Remind me to check with him. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Do you want a shot first?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to pour Jack a shot before we get into this conversation about a knife in the butt.
A Knife in the Butt by Jacqueline. Just kidding. It's not
Oh,
actually
wait.
my writing.
A bird in the hand is worth a knife in the butt.
Oh, that's the episode. That's what I'm going to call it.
A bird in the hand is worth a knife in the butt.
Oh, yeah, you don't have the paper. I have the paper.
Oh, you didn't come up with that on your own right now?
No, I
Oh,
read,
no, it's
I
at
read
the
it
top
off
of the paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rachel,
That
already
you don't
came up
get.
with that. I don't get the notes, y'all.
Yeah, we
It's
don't give-
kind of rude.
In fairness, like Ash and I get the notes. Number one, because I write the notes. So I get
Rachel
them.
writes the notes.
And two, Ash needs the notes. And number three,
I eat the notes?
you need them.
Oh, I need the notes.
You need the notes.
That's fair.
And
I might eat them,
Jack
who
doesn't
knows?
get the notes because we don't want to spoil it. We want all this to be a surprise for her to get a genuine reaction to the book we're reading.
Ashton is a chaos gremlin and needs things to keep her on point so she doesn't wander off into the woods of thought.
And I'd hate to waste my time reading books and not writing notes because sometimes I forget stuff. So Jack, go ahead there with
Do your shot.
Okay, here's
Oh,
my
sorry.
shot.
Take your shot.
Thank you, Sheepdog.
Thanks
for,
again, Sheepdog, for peanut butter.
This is like my
schnapps.
fifth shot, maybe.
Girl.
Rachel's very good at keeping me in shots.
So we try to keep Jack in shots because this is heinous for her.
Because she has to read this beautiful stuff.
Thanks, Kate.
Eloquent
Thanks, Kate. I
writing.
appreciate it.
Lifting my head once again, I trace my blade from her breasts to her stomach and around her navel before dropping to my knees and following that path. Rolling my eyes up, I flick my tongue across her belly jewel, and her head falls forward, her eyes meeting mine. Her lip is trapped between her teeth as she shivers from my touch. I think that's her mouth lip, not other lips. Rolling my tongue around her piercing.
Oh yeah, she has a clear piercing. I don't know if anyone. Yeah,
Roxy?
Roxy
Good
has
for
her clear
you,
pierced.
girl.
Oh yeah, hold on. Diesel has his penis pierced too.
What?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Rolling my tongue around her piercing, I pull on it a bit, making her moan before turning my head and biting down on her hip without warning. Her moan turns into a scream as she jerks in the chains, swinging away slightly, so I grab her hip and dig my teeth in deeper before releasing her skin and kissing it better. Licking and biting my way up her body, ignoring my aching cock, I trace the knife across her nipple. She moans at the dangerous edge of the knife across one of her most sensitive areas and tilts into it, so I do it again and again before licking over the path. She moans my name again. My little bird trying to tempt me. So in punishment, I slash out quickly with the knife.
Are you tempted, Jack?
I'm so tempted. Drawing two thin cuts across the crests of her breasts. Leaning back, I watch the blood well in the slices as she whimpers. D, please. I think she means Diesel, but not Dick. Right?
Yeah, D is his nickname.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
The guys call him D too.
Eyes locked on hers, I lick along the cuts, prodding the edges with my tongue until she grunts in pain, but shivers in pleasure. Did you know, little bird, an edge of pain can enhance your pleasure? Now normal people like just a little, while others can handle a lot. I wonder how much you can tolerate. Licking up her neck, I stop at her lips. We're going to find out. Keep pressing forward until your screams of agony mix with your shrieks of bliss. She nips at my lips, making me grin. What shall we start with, little bird? I can carry on with the knife. I have visions of it against your pierced clit as my tongue fucks your channel.
Another word that I hate.
The English Channel?
I mean, in this case, it is her English channel.
Or maybe your tight little ass filled with my cock.
And then her cream.
She gasps, jerking against me. Knife, she whispers breathlessly. Very well. Dropping to my knees, I spread her creamy thighs to expose her pussy to the room. She's so wet, it's dripping down her thighs. And when I part her lips and lap her pierced clit, she presses closer. I would die happily with my face buried in her pussy, tasting her on my tongue. What a way to go. Running the knife up both thighs, leaving a stinging trail, I circle it around her pussy before wetting the blade with her cream.
They've used this word way too much.
Cream.
I lean back and meet those eyes, letting her watch as I lick the sharp edge, clean of her juices. Delicious. Her eyes close for a moment before blinking open. Well, you gonna fuck me or just sit and talk? Gripping her thigh, I dig my nails in as I press the flat of the blade against her clit, hard, holding it there as I dip my tongue inside her channel. She groans my name, jerking in the chains and pressing closer. But it's not enough for me or her. Pulling away, I lick her clit and remove the knife before flipping it until the thick black handle is pressed to her entrance. Her eyes widen and her breath stutters before she nods, pushing against it to try and take it into her body. This is the knife I killed him with. Did you see how prettily he died, choking on his own blood? I murmur as I press it into her before pulling it out and then pressing it in an inch further. The blade easily slit open his skin. All that blood, the blood you're standing in, I trail off, licking my lips to keep the taste of her pussy in my mouth. Next time, I'll make you watch. I'll fuck you with the blade to your throat as I die in front of us. With that, I slam the handle inside her. She screams from both pain and pleasure, and I chuckle before twisting the handle, the ribbed grip of it making her hips jerk forward as she tries to take more. Yes, more! She screams as I pull the knife free from her clinging body before slamming it back in, fucking her with it. She chants my name. D, D, D. That's not part of the book.
Go, D, go.
Go, D, go.
Go, D, go.
She chants my name in words of encouragement as I watch the flush creep down her body, her thighs shaking as she reaches that peak. She's so close, her head dangling back in bliss, her eyes closed and face slack.
So, Jack, what was your favorite part there?
Oh my goodness.
What do you think?
Her chanting Diesel's name clearly.
D. I love
Let's start
that.
a D fan club because I love the D.
I mean, who doesn't love the D?
We all love the D. Oh, Diesel. I mean, the dude died so prettily,
Isn't that-
choking on his own blood, and she's just like there in it.
Yeah, so the right before they start doing it, because this is the catalyst, is that what turns D on is violence and death and murder. And so
Preach, D, preach.
so she comes downstairs from like off the elevator or whatever, and like, you know, I think she was trying to escape in this instance, but the only floor she could get off on was.
Is that what it was? Or that
yeah,
wasn't
she
the
was-
scene where
this
she was
was-
sent down to check on him?
The only
No.
floor she could get off on. Hey,
Oh,
I
she
mean,
got
get
off
off
the
she
floors.
did.
Yeah.
Hey, look, another shot. Woohoo. To
keep-
you, D.
You keep needing them, and I keep pouring them.
When you need the D,
When you need the D,
you get the shot.
take a shot.
Thanks, little bird.
Thanks, little bird.
She's pierced.
Oh my god. Yeah, I did mention this, but D's also pierced.
In that
There's
scene,
a lot.
they
There's a
don't
lot of
mention
piercings and tattoos in this. They don't. They kind of mention it offhand near the end that Garrett has a bunch of piercings as well.
Do they?
Yeah, it's an
Well, he
offhand
just
comment near
became
the end.
a million times more
Oh, he's-
attractive to
yeah,
me, and
100%.
he was already attractive to me. So
All the tattoos and piercings.
listen,
Yeah.
there's a type of guy, and that's it. So
Yeah, we all have a type.
Do you
That's
think he has those like piercings where it's like
dermals?
Oh, subdermal? No, I don't think it's dermals.
no, I think he's just pierced.
Yeah.
Does Garrett
that what
have a
those are
penis
called?
piercing?
No, I don't. Well, sorry, they don't mention it. They just mention other piercings.
I love how you're like, no, but we don't know because these people are clearly real and they could have existence in their lives.
Garrett. Just kidding, I'm team D.
I like the D.
I did list D's knife as a character in this book because it comes up a lot, if you know what I mean.
Well, he obviously killed this person, and then
Yeah,
he
he killed a person.
obviously
It made him hard.
fucked
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I think you just read that part, so
I
yeah, I think
think
it's
I
easy to
did.
say.
Oh yeah, he goes on to like actually rail her, but that was
sometimes I just black out though,
But
and I'm not
Did she-
actually present for.
did
things
she
I'm
read the
doing.
part where he then fucked her and like stabbed himself?
No, we cut it off
No.
before that. So right after that part though, he does go on to like fuck her while the knife is in her butt, and then he stabs himself.
I love how Jacqueline picks up the book again. Like
We have her
are they
attention,
serious?
apparently.
Why
Yeah.
didn't I read that part?
I mean, we got to stop somewhere. It's quite a long.
Do we?
This is the thing. The book is very wordy. It's very like it's a long book for what it is.
I mean, yeah.
So like you got to stop somewhere.
She calls him a fucking prick.
Oh yeah, she's super mouthy. That's why they like her. Which
That
is
was
fair.
a nice little bird. Says me and
Oh,
D.
and Dee does go on to get a tattoo of a bird and
Over
a
his
viper.
heart.
Yeah, over his heart
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's
bird.
like no, like a
Her as a little
as a little bird and a viper.
It's awesome because
Is the viper like attacking the
No,
little
it's
bird?
the opposite. It's protecting the bird actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
snuggling the little bird.
Yeah.
Boa constrictor.
Well, over his heart, no less.
well, I mean,
Because this is the thing. He's like obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Now, I should also mention this entire book does take place like over maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks.
oh yeah, insta love.
Instant love straight. Yeah. Off the
Is
bat.
it love? Insta lust?
Is that Instagram related?
No, instant love.
follow us on-
Insta love.
Queens of Spice on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Queens of Spice. That's our Instagram handle. Is a handle a thing?
It is now.
We made it a thing. I'd like my pigtails are like handles.
Yeah, they are.
Ashton's looking for a daddy. If anyone's interested.
Ash, I'll be your daddy. That's fine.
I got a
No,
dress on.
Rachel.
Just give me a lollipop.
That's pretty much. I mean, that covers most of the most of the notes I made. Set your expectations accordingly. This book is like it's okay. Read it if you want some spice in your life, but it's not like a.
I love the note. It's spice. The spice is nom nom.
I mean, I said that. He's like like the spice is good. It's real
Oh,
good.
I just take nom 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 nom. It's
yeah, I'm
more-
not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah, that just sounds like you're eating pasta. Like or
I
calling a cat.
I
One of the
really
two.
like pasta.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Who's calling their cat like that?
I don't know. Here, puss, puss, puss.
Oh, calm down.
I don't want
my.
to.
Here, pussy. So I mean that pretty much covers it. So Jack,
Does it though?
Oh, I mean it covers as much as we're gonna cover of this book.
How are we rating it? Is it like moist panties out of moist Snickers?
no.
I was
creamy Knickers.
We already did fingers in the butt, so we can't do knives
going,
in the butt.
Yeah, right. We can't do knives in the butt.
Well,
I mean, we
this
could,
wasn't
but-
a knife in the butt.
There was a knife in the butt.
That was the
Not
knife in the
here.
butt.
Yeah.
That's where the knife went, my love.
You just read that.
No, it didn't. Didn't
Yeah,
it
it
go
did.
in her vagina?
No, he chose whether to put his cock or the knife in her butt, and she chose the knife.
She chose the knife. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he asked her which she preferred.
He put the knife in her butt, and then he fucked her from behind so that the knife then stabbed him.
You know, that comes after. And then they come after. Both of them.
Yeah, after they start fucking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone always comes. That's the point.
Well, I mean, in books, everybody comes. If you're lucky in a relationship, everybody comes too. But, you know,
At least once.
at least once.
Right in our English channel.
Oh, he did say
Pussy
channel.
pussy channel, creamy, creamy.
You're not cutting that out.
Jack, thanks for singing our brand new intro.
Pussy channel, creamy, creamy.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
Knickers. Moist vagina panties.
So
They hate me.
let's rate this book out of really hot tattoos. So out of 8 really hot tattoos. Like super hot, like you're riding Diesel's fucking dick while you're getting tattooed hot tattoos. How many tattoos would you give it? How many would you sit through?
I feel like this is an unfair comparison because I am covered in tattoos.
You
So
are.
clearly I would sit through a fair
Hey,
number of them.
So this is my point. So this book is up your alley, yeah? A little bit.
Or up your channel.
Is this book up your English channel at all?
Is it up your creamy channel?
Are we rating it based on like what is the rating based on?
Based on how did you feel about the book overall?
I mean, look, 8? Is that what we're
It's
rating
rating
it
out of 8, yeah.
I'd say a solid 6. Like it's not one of those books that I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna read this again and again and again and again.
So what I'm gonna say, I have read this book again and again,
yes,
and I'm gonna give it like 5 hot tattoos out of 8 hot tattoos. Only
depends-
because,
it depends on how long you're sitting for the tattoos for.
but that's you gotta factor that in. So I'll say that only because, like, the spice be nice. The book it seems excessively long, having read it twice now, and I'm like, you could summarize this a little quicker, I think. And not to say that like it doesn't need to be long-winded, but
It's a solid one-time read though. Like if you only read this book once, I feel like you would rate it higher.
Listen, here's the thing. I never shut up about this book. And I never shut up with this book because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so, like, be that as it may, I don't hate this book. I certainly don't love this book. But
Solid 6.5 for me.
like, if you feel like in some spicy read and you're into this kind of shit, fucking read it. 100%.
I'd say 6.5. 6 solid tattoos, and then I got drunk and decided that I maybe want a little tiny thing like on my ass.
You'll get somebody to finish it later. Is that what you're saying? Like,
No, I'm just talking something small. Like I'm just going to a little heart on my butt cheek, so I look like a My Little Pony.
yeah, perfect.
There.
Oh, I love that.
Jack, how many hot tattoos would you rate this?
Oh my goodness.
So based on what we told you about the book, how do you feel about it?
and based on my reading,
Obviously.
whew, I mean, I gotta give this a couple Bonnies out of 8.
Oh,
for
Jesus
sure.
Christ.
Now, I was expecting like some Uncle Jake action.
Oh, no, wrong book.
Wrong book.
Yeah, there's
again.
no uncles in this book.
We'll
Only
warn
daddies.
you when Uncle Jake arises.
Oh, God.
When Uncle Jake gets up, you'll know.
I'll tell you when Uncle Jake shows up.
Rachel will be sweating and crying at the same time. And
I love it.
Yeah.
You say that in a kind of a hot way. It's not going to be a hot way.
Oh,
though.
it's not a hot way.
I mean,
It's
not
like
for
a-
me.
It's like a get me out of here way. So I feel like, I mean, there's like 4 boys.
Mm-hmm,
They're all like loving on this Roxy chick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Dick
So
for
it's
days.
is that one of your new favorite tropes, do you think? Is the Dick for Days trope?
Is that like that's
The
like
multi-partners, yeah.
right, but like the girl gets the multi
Yeah, yeah.
partners.
Yeah.
And that's like the reverse harem, but now we're calling it Dick for Days.
Or why choose, yeah. Or
Why
it's a poly...
shoes? Is that like so
Yeah.
more of my toes can fit?
What?
What?
What is why shoes?
Why are
Oh.
toes fitting and where are they going?
Well,
it's
about
why-
shoes, like
No, why choose?
choose. Why choose? Like, oh my goodness, I thought you said wide shoes. And so I thought, like, it was like so all your toes could fit comfortably in your shoes. Oh my.
This is a wide shoes novel. He's got big feet and we're here for it.
Oh my God. Okay, so, oh fuck. For real.
Hold on. Are you okay?
I'm okay, but
Where were you putting his shoes?
I wasn't putting his shoes anywhere, but I wasn't sure why we were calling it wide shoes. But now I understand that it's wide shoes because why choose one partner?
Why choose one partner when you can have 4 super hot mafia guys?
Right.
Yeah, in this instance.
So
Dicks.
nothing.
Dicks for days. Yeah.
Dicks for days. Nothing about putting your toes into
No toes.
your shoes.
No toes involved. No.
Okay. So, yeah, I kind of like that. Like, good for her. She doesn't have to choose one of these guys if she wants all 4 of them. Like, good for her. So I like that. I don't think Bonnie was up for that.
No, Bonnie was... well, that was a whole different ball game. That was a whole different Bonnie game.
Bonnie was like...
Bonnie was playing golf, and this is more like baseball. Golf is like a 1 or 2 people sport. Baseball, you get a whole fucking team.
Yeah, fair.
Does Ashton know what sports are?
No, I just know that there are balls involved. I mean, I played rugby.
I feel like
We did play rugby in
there
high
are
school,
more balls in golf than there are baseball. Because everyone gets...
There are more holes in golf than there are
That's
in baseball.
true,
You only
too.
have the one ball for the entire thing.
So golf is like the regular harem, and this
Okay.
is the reverse harem. So there's more players on the field than there are holes.
It's just a singular
Okay.
relationship. 2 people skipping down the road hand in hand, putting their things
You can only
in
fit 2.
different holes.
You can only fit 2 people in a golf cart.
I'm pretty
What
sure
about
you
the
can
back?
fit more.
Can't you fit 2 more
If you're
on the back?
listen, if you're ambitious, you
I
invite
mean,
someone to join on back.
That's just,
Anyway, I'm going to stop us right here because good for her for picking all these 4 gentlemen.
They're not gentlemen.
bold of you to think that she had choice.
Both of you think they're gentlemen.
She totally had a fucking choice. She bitched her way out of those minions, didn't she?
She could have chose death. In fairness,
Banana.
Banana, banana. That's not even the song, is it?
I don't know.
Anyways, good for her. I'm going to give her 5 Bonnies plus
a good bonus Bonnie.
bonus. No.
And a bow.
One bow.
Which one's oh,
Bow is Bonnie's bow.
Bo, and then what's Dan? I'm gonna give her 5 Bonnies, 3 Dans out of 8.
So what does that translate to? Is that like a 6?
Wait,
That's like a
It's like a 6.
that is 8.
no,
like a 6.
no.
Dan,
That's
Dan
like
doesn't
a,
only count for like quarter.
That's like a 6. Would
Okay.
awkwardly read a scene again if I get to be dramatic
Dramatique.
and make Ashton uncomfortable with creaminess panties. I think.
Well,
Would you read the whole book?
would you read the whole book? Do you think?
Oh no.
Yeah, fair.
Not fucking happening.
And I mean,
But you can tag all sorts of spots for me to read if you
oh,
want.
I sure will. I recognize that, like, you're not super employed right now, so you don't have a lot of time in your hands. But this is a long read.
I would rather nap.
Yeah, fair. Same.
I would rather edit somebody else's book.
I would rather edit this podcast. No, I wouldn't. Please don't make me edit the podcast.
I don't want to have anything to do with Ashton's edits.
Well, thanks for joining us at Queens of Spice this week. As mentioned, we have the Instagrams and we have the Twitters, and we're going to be posting the stuffs. We also have a DNF challenge for Ashton. We were trying to look for a book that Ashton just can't possibly finish because she's weird and reads everything.
Yeah,
Apartment.
case in point, the last one that I just finished. I got
We'll talk about that later.
finished the first one, and then they had to go and get her kidnapped, and so I was like, fuck, now I read the second one, and I don't think it's ever taken me a full week to finish a book before. Not in a long time, and this took me all week.
You just like don't want to jump for it, right?
No,
But you finished it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little intrigued when he threatened that told her that he pulled out her IUD.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I think I sent that to you guys.
3 IUDs out of 3. Please don't impregnate
Please
me.
don't pull out people's IUDs.
Well, and you know what? That's funny because that's another thing that I super appreciate when people just like straight from the offer, like, this character has an IUD. I'm like, thank you for taking the birth control question straight out of it. Because if you're fucking without condoms,
Oh, does that mean
If you're
that,
fucking
like,
without condoms, you end up at Ashton's other favorite trope, which is accidental pregnancy. Anyway, so this DNF challenge.
Yes.
If you would like
do
to
not fuck?
Do not flick.
So this
Defend. Wait.
Defense
no,
against the
Department of National Defense.
close. This is called the Did Not Finish Challenge. So we're looking
Did
for a
not
book.
finish.
Did not
Sorry,
finish.
boys.
Did not
You
flick.
suck at your job. None of us came tonight.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Hey, thanks for coming to this podcast, guys.
Oh,
What about the DNF challenge?
I didn't come. But here I am anyway.
DNF challenge. Find me a book that I cannot finish.
Not because of the horrible writing, but because of the horrible topics. Right?
But exactly. But just make sure that when you recommend the book, if there's any major triggers, that you let us know so that I at least know what I'm getting into. And if we do find something, we'll discuss it at length.
and
I can't wait to read it.
find me a book I'll read.
Like
all
a
the
cookbook.
way through.
Yeah,
like a
a cookbook maybe.
I like cookbooks.
Do you like
with
coloring?
I love coloring books.
Do you like coloring books? We can
Yes.
get you a spicy coloring
Oh
book.
my god,
only-
Dick coloring book.
Only the
Yeah.
ones that are like for children.
Yeah.
You
Where
go
like
first.
there's like a lot of space, not like the tiny little places that you have to color in.
Okay,
So
yeah.
not adult coloring books.
Correct.
Oh, you want a
Children's coloring books
children's style spicy coloring book.
Yes.
We'll take those recs as well.
And bonus if it can be on my iPad because I don't like actually coloring.
So this thing doesn't actually exist. Jack just really wishes it did.
It could.
Well, I know what I'm doing next weekend. I'm designing a coloring book for Jack.
I mean, I'm surprised you haven't done something like that. That's brilliant.
So thanks for joining me, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for sticking it out for Den of Vipers. Read this book and then put it away and then never read it again.
Or
Thanks.
read it again if you're super into dirty sex. Dirty, delightful sex.
It's some dirty, delightful sex, not gonna lie.
Diesel, Garrett, Kylo Ren, whatever the fuck the other two's name are. I don't know.
No. He's coming soon.
Thanks.
Soon.
We'll see you guys next
Thanks, sheepdog. Bye.
time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Queens of Spice podcast. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter at Queens of Spice. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at queensofspice@gmail.com.